Hello! Hey guys, look, it's a face you probably haven't seen in a long time. Who is that guy? Hey guys, it's me, Dan, and I'm back again after so very long for another video on Webbing on the Web. And I'm so sorry for my very long absence, but I don't have any excuse really. I've been up to a few things. Oh, you know, everyday things, you know. That was a good concept, by the way. And if you're wondering, the girl you saw in that video there was my girlfriend, and unfortunately I can't get her to come on the channel, but she's on it now. She's on it now. I see you, baby. You're on my channel now. I told her I'd get her on there one day. But guys, today I'm here to review Spider-Man Homecoming, the newest installment of the Marvel Cinematic Universe, and the start of a brand new rebooted trilogy of Spider-Man films. Wow, we've never heard of that before, have we? So, guys, as you can see from what I'm wearing, hat, t-shirt, hat, boxers. You don't need to remember that I just said that. You can pretend I didn't say that at all. I'd appreciate that. But guys, you can tell from all this that Spider-Man is a pretty important character to me. He's one of my favourites. Second favourite superhero of all after the man back there. You see him. His logo anyway. But it's Spider-Man. I love Spider-Man. And I love everything Spider-Man. I love the Spider-Man cartoons. I love the Spider-Man video games. I love the Spider-Man movies. Some are better than others, obviously. But I was really looking forward to a new Spider-Man film coming out, especially after seeing Tom Holland's performance as Peter Parker / Spider-Man in Civil War last year. So this year, with this installment, how do I feel about the brand new Spider-Man? Very happy. I just have to start with that. Now, I will admit that I don't think this film is perfect. I don't think it's worth all the hype and praise that it's getting from a lot of the critics at the minute, but I still like it. I really enjoyed my time with it. It is not flawless, it is not amazing, but I really enjoyed it, and it's a really good Spider-Man film. I'd rate it above Spider-Man 3, Amazing Spider-Man 2, and even The Amazing Spider-Man. So it's my third favourite Spider-Man film after Spider-Man 2, 1, and then Homecoming. Yeah, I'm a bit of a Sam Raimi fanboy when it comes to Spider-Man. So let's start off with the story, just to have a talk about it. Basically, this is not this is more of a coming of age story, more so than any other Spider-Man movie has been up until this point. The Amazing Spider-Man tried to do this. I think it does it better here in Homecoming. It shows Peter Parker fully in high school. He's just a sophomore. He's just 15 years old. He is not 17, 18, 21, 25, or whatever he was before in the other Spider-Man films. He is a 15-year-old boy. He's played by Tom Holland, who is amazing, and I will talk about that later on. And it just shows him in high school. It just shows all the trials and tribulations he has to go through, the everyday life of a high school student, and the everyday life of trying to be like a vigilante superhero and balancing that with your schoolwork, your relationships, your friends, your family, all of that. They do it really well here, and I have to give my hats off to Tom Holland and the director John Watts. One thing I really like about this film is that it basically portrays Peter Parker not just becoming Spider-Man. He's slowly growing into the persona of Spider-Man. He's like, I saw Chris Stockman make this comparison. I quite liked it. A Spider Boy, and he's becoming a Spider-Man. I like that, Chris Stockman. By the way, Chris Stockman is really cool. I'd like to be like him one day. But Peter Parker basically grows into Spider-Man. So think of it like this. Okay, so this is a joke in the film. Tony Stark gives Peter Parker the upgraded suit in Civil War. He gets to keep it. He has it here. He's got the training wheels on, basically, because there is a program in the suit that basically he's in a training mode. which later on, like, they unlock later on, and they get this really cool AI that really reminded me of Jarvis. Her name Karen, as Peter calls her. I really liked her. But yeah, basically it shows him from going from like young Peter Parker, and it shows him growing into Spider-Man, and he's not grown into it yet. He's just starting to grow into it. He's learned about the whole the great responsibility thing, and like taking care of your community first and all that. I also liked that this film was a big homage to John Hughes films. There are so many references to John Hughes films in this. Ferris Bueller, Breakfast Club, 16 Candles. I really liked it. It was really cool, and like, especially that scene where Peter Parker's running like to get somewhere, and he's running through people's backyards in the Spider-Man costume, and then it switches to a clip from Ferris Bueller. You know, the famous scene where Ferris Bueller's running home trying to get there before his sister does, so he can snitch on his parents. And it's really cool. I really like that scene, and like, it also shows something else. It also showed that Peter Parker, like Spider-Man. What would Spider-Man do if there weren't so many like high-rise, tall skyscraper buildings for him to swing across? Because he lives in Queens, obviously, which isn't as a high-rise or like up sprawl as Manhattan is. So they had to compensate for that, and I think they did it pretty well. He uses his webs to like climb up smaller houses and run across roofs and jump through people's back gardens. It's really funny. It's really comical. It works. So overall, I thought the story was pretty good. A bit predictable, but still, a lot of Marvel stories they kind of have this like trope they follow, which is okay if you're into it, which I am. If you're not so into it, you might get a bit bored of the whole same story over and over and over and over again. But I think they took a pretty fresh approach to this. Next, I'm going to talk about the characters. Obviously, I have to start off by talking about Tom Holland as Spider-Man. He is amazing. I think he's my favourite Spider-Man. It's not my favourite Spider-Man film, but I think Tom Holland is my favourite Spider-Man. He brings that nice mix of nerdy, like geeky teenager that Tobey Maguire had, with the quirky, like fun-loving talky-backy Spider-Man that Andrew Garfield had. He's like, it's a nice little it's a nice mix of the two. And as Tony Stark says, there's a bit of a grey area outside, a bit of a grey area inside. There's a small little window of opportunity in between. That's where you exist. That's where that analogy is perfect for this Spider-Man. I just love Tom Holland. He's a great actor, and he's great as Spider-Man and as Peter Parker. It's almost like a Jekyll and Hyde transformation thing, where he goes from being, Spider-Man to being Peter Parker. I really like that, and I thought he did it really well. And my hat is literally off to you, Tom Holland. And then we got to talk about Michael Keaton, who plays the villain, Vulture, in this film. They did a lot with Vulture that I didn't think they were going to do, and I actually really appreciated it. Vulture isn't that big of a character in the Marvel comic universe. He's more of a B-list baddie. They did some things here with him that I really enjoyed. They made him a family man, and so he's doing everything he is doing in the film for his family, to provide for them, so he can be a strong patriarch figure. And he's also a working class man. So he literally, in the first 5 minutes of the film, set up Vulture as a character, Adrian Toomes. He loses his job. He's down on his luck. He has to do something to keep a roof over his family's head. Boom, turns to crime. That's all you need. That's all he needs to turn to crime. That's his only motivation. He's not evil. He's not in it to. He doesn't He's not actually in there like a love for crime or anything. The only reason he's doing it is because he wants to provide for his family and be a good father. And I think that's a lovely message. He's really relatable. Unlike some other Marvel villains, they've had a really big problem with villains in the past. I think Michael Keaton does a good job here, and I think it's a nice little introduction villain for Spider-Man, like a small-time baddie for him to sink his teeth into and help him get off his training wheels. For future Spider-Man films, I would like to see some more characters. Think Mysterio, Kraven, maybe the Osborns, Green Goblin. Who knows? Maybe we'll see them back. Unfortunately, we won't see Venom. I know that. And yeah, you could probably guess from that my reaction to that whole debacle. Fucking Sony. By the way, Sony, fuck off. You've got so much like product placement in this film. It's almost it's cringy at times. Just fuck off. I don't want you involved in Spider-Man anymore. You you just give the rights fully. I appreciate what you're doing with Marvel here, but just fuck off. Give Marvel the rights back, please. I don't want you making this stupid Venom spin-off universe. It's a lot of crap, basically. I don't want that. I want them in the MCU where they belong. So I won't say it again, but you know what I want to say to you. Sonic, go away. I have one minor complaint to talk about when it comes to characters. Melissa Tomei as Aunt May, really? You want a 50-year-old woman who looks really young to play a character that is meant to be wise and kind and old and just a good, like, a mother, like a mother figure for Peter. Really? She talks about his body transitions and helps him to get dressed for like homecoming dance in a very like, I don't know, it's something off about that, and I also just didn't like Melissa Tomei's performance personally. Not a fan of that. I prefer my favorite Aunt May is the Aunt May from the Sam Raimi trilogy. I just love that Aunt May. She's old, she's kind, but she doesn't take shit from anyone. She doesn't take shit from Dr. Octopus when he lifts her up in that roof scene. Love that scene, by the way. That's a great scene. But yeah, this Melissa Tomei, no, sorry, but it didn't do anything for me. Finally, I'll quickly talk about cinematography because I just realised that I've gone way over time. We're back to this again. Firstly, I have a bit of a problem with the way that the film was shot in certain places. Most places it's fine. It's the standard lens. Like standard camera, it looks great. Some scenes, I admit, now this is pretty cool what they did here. They shot some of the scenes with a phone camera to try and make it look like, you know, it has been shot with a phone camera. But the quality of this video compared, like when it jumps to like the video quality, like the quality of the normal camera, oh my god, it's so jarring. It actually made my head hurt a bit. It's hard to look at, and I really appreciate what they did there. It looked really cool. It was a really cool idea because it's you know, teenagers and their phones nowadays, goddamn millennials. Oh wait, I am one. I shouldn't really be saying that. Piss off some snowflakes. But you know, it's a bit jarring, and that's a bit of a problem here. It knocks it down a bit if you ask me, because there's a few instances of it throughout the film, and it's just a little bit jarring. But there's something I did really appreciate: visual throwbacks. There are throwbacks to the 1960s Spider-Man here. They used the theme song from the cartoon. To the Sam Raimi trilogy, for example, there's a scene where Peter is like, he's like, you know, the famous upside down scene from Spider-Man 1 where Mary Jane kisses him, pulls his mask up and kisses him. They parody that here, but the only thing is he doesn't get the kiss because something goes wrong before it. It's really funny. Something goes wrong before he can get the kiss. It's really funny. It's just, I was laughing when I saw that. I really appreciate those little visual throwbacks, and it shows that John Watts does understand Spider-Man, both thematically and cinematographically. I can't say that word, but graphically. That's going to be some kind of meme now, isn't it? Oh dear. But yeah, so I didn't like the way that the film was shot in certain places, but I really appreciated the visual throwbacks. So overall, I'm going to give this film a 7.5 out of 10. I thought it was I really enjoyed it, but I did not love it as much as I was hoping I would. But it's still a really good Spider-Man film. I really enjoyed it. I really enjoyed Tom Holland as Spider-Man. I'm looking forward to seeing him in next year in Infinity War. He's going to be in that, and then his Spider-Man Homecoming 2 or whatever they're going to call it after that. Maybe he'll be like in the senior year or something, or he'll be getting ready to go into college then. Who knows? Only time will tell. But guys, I hope you enjoyed that review, and I'm sorry for the long delays. And I know I've missed a big few films like Wonder Woman and what was that? Oh God, Guardians of the Galaxy 2. But I'm sorry about that, guys. But I hope this Spider-Man one makes up for it. I hope you're having a nice day. If you did enjoy my video, please share it around with your friends and let me know down in the comments below. And I'm sorry, I apologize for the length of this video. I haven't done this in a while. If you don't know, so I'm not as used to it as I was. So I've probably let it go on a little too long. But I think I've got everything I need to say out about it now. So I hope you enjoyed this, guys. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you soon.